Start the pledge, please.
Allegiance to the
flag
flag
of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. All right, just, Megan, you've spoken before, but I just want to review everything. This is not a discussion, it's not a two-way conversation, we're just here to hear your public comment. Right now, I typically limit it to 3 minutes, but since right now we only have two of you, if you want to take a few more minutes, that's fine. As I said, we are live streaming this, so there's a pad there. You do need write out your name and address, and also say it so we can get it in the recording. Okay, with that, whoever wants to go first.
Good evening, Megan Bird, 2 Carlson Road. I'm here on behalf of the Board of Education budget.
Would you speak up a little bit?
Absolutely,
Because,
Walter.
believe it or not, my hearing aids died.
Oh dear.
I will definitely speak up for you, Walter, not a problem. So I'm here to support the Board of Education budget, but also to inform you all of some circumstances that arose after the budget went to was adopted by the Board of Ed and went to presentation at the Town Council and joint Town Council and Board of Finance presentations. I assume you all know that we have a school choice for high school. Students can apply to go to Abbott Tech or to the agri-science program at Chippewa. This year, we had, 27 applicants applied to go to the agri-science program in Chippewa. The Board of Education's budget allots for 28 students over the 4-year program, so that's about 7 students a year. Our students did so well this year. 11 of them scored perfectly in their interview process, and an additional 6 scored very well and made it into the program. So that's 17 that Chippewa wants to accept from our district, has the seats to accept from our district, but the budget went through with the usual amount that they've negotiated and contracted with Chippewa. So we have spoken to the Board of Education, and right now they're in the process where their hands are tied. They can't do anything. It's mid-budget cycle. The total cost for each student to go, tuition is $6,823 a year, and then there's possibility, not guarantee, but a possibility that if all students were able to go, they may need to add an additional bus, which would be about another $71,000. So you're talking roughly about $145,000 to $150,000 more. There's also a state House bill that's in committee still, but having written to our representative, Mr. Buckby told me that it is very likely that it will be voted on, and having reviewed the public comment, there was literally one person who spoke publicly that was against it, and the rest was all public. So it should come through, and that bill would actually put the tuition portion back to the state, starting not this school year's fall, but the 2024-25 school year. So that means really, if that goes through, we're looking at 1 year's worth of tuition for these students, and then we'd be saving the tuition on all 28 seats plus any additional we were able to send this year. And I would really hate to see these students who all did so well not be able to all go to the program that they wanted to. And just a little background, the process for them to be able to go, they start in November, roughly. They fill out an application. They have to write an essay. It's similar to a college application. They have to provide their transcripts. They have to write an essay. They have to get 3 letters of recommendation, 1 from a teacher, 1 from a guidance counselor, 1 from an outside member of the community, non-family member. So very much like they were applying to a college. And then the applications all go to Chippewa. They have to then sit for an interview with Chippewa. And they all sat for their interviews and did excellently. Like I said, 11 out of the 27 scored perfectly. And right now, we're in the position to only send 7. And I would like to ask if you're going to do anything to the budget at all, that maybe you increase it by that 145 to 150,000, so that the Board of Ed has a very easy decision to make come May or June after the budget passes, to be able to say yay or nay to these extra students going. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Nina Cudney at 6 Colton Road in Milford. I'm here as a parent of one of the students who scored one of the top scores for the Chippewa Agri-Science program. And after speaking to all the other parents whose children were technically accepted into the program, we all kind of feel the same way, that our children they learn in a way, like my daughter, for example, has ADHD. She's a very right-brained girl. She loves hands-on learning. Smaller classrooms would be just amazing for her. We went to the open house at Chippewa and she lit up. I have never seen her that way before about education. And, and unfortunately, these aren't courses that we could get at New Milford High School. So it's an incredible opportunity. These kids worked so hard. The director of the program personally called, I think, like 11 of us, whose child scored perfect on the interview. These are 13-year-old kids who scored perfectly on an in-person, one-to-one interview with the director of an academic program. I don't think I would have been able to do that at 13. So I just like Megan, I'm asking to add the $150,000 to the budget to let these kids be able to experience the opportunity of a lifetime that they earned, and Chippewa is willing and happy to take them. And I just think that all these kids, they deserve to be able to go. Thank you.
I'm going to break for a second. And Joe, you came in late. Do you have any questions, or you want Megan to clarify stuff because you came in early? Okay. Just wanted to do that. And we don't have any current speakers here. We will await till 7:30, which is what we've done in the past. If nobody comes in, then at that point in time, we'll adjourn the meeting. Or town hall, I should say, not a meeting. Pardon, Michael?
Just folks be aware the mics are hot.
So 10.
Yeah. Unless you want to.
Yeah, if you get someone that's streaming that puts a question in, just as long as you get their name and address, we'll take it. I would like to get as much input as we can on the budget. That's what this is for.
Well, I meant to ask you about the mics. I mean, while we're just waiting around, do everything under control, and everything like hot.
Whichever's easiest for you, Michael.
All right, I'm just gonna leave it hot then. That way, the people watching at home know that there isn't like some sort of error in the sound, and we're just saying, oh, wait.
Want me to sing? Oh, I'm not near a microphone, never mind.
Can I ask a question that just would require a yes or a no answer?
We could break protocol as long as there's nobody ready to come in to speak.
Okay.
Has anything like this ever happened before?
No.
Thank you.
I'm going to clarify something from both of you. From my understanding, the existing Board of Education budget adopted by the town council put in their historical number of students going to the Ag STEM. And 10 additional students, or a total of 17?
Now, can I public speak again?
Yes, that's, as I say, we're breaking protocol, Megan, but
Yep.
that's, I
Yeah.
think this is so new to everybody here, and it came up after the budget.
Yeah.
It's the only reason I'm
Yeah.
doing this.
That's fine. And as long as no one else is here, I have no
Yes.
problem stepping aside if anybody else comes in. So this is the most students that we've ever had apply. We may have had in the past one or two that were waitlisted, I don't know, but they just upped the seats from 20 to 28 a few years ago because there was more of a demand. And that seemed to cover it. And then this year we really exploded. In fact, the director of Chapag's program, when he called the parents of the children who were waitlisted but scored perfectly, did let us know that our district had about between 12 and 15 more than most other districts apply. And that our students were particularly exceptional. And he really did kind of feel for them, that he wasn't going to be able to accept as many as he wanted to. And so, yeah, this is new territory. And I think that if the process of when the budget gets worked out was just slightly later, it might have been a little more obvious, and maybe the Board of Ed would have then put more in, but they kept the historic number that it's been for the last few years of 28 seats total over the 4-year program. So, which is normal. I mean, I have to admit, I told my daughter that the whole process, not all parents, this was another tough bit, it was never communicated to the students nor the parents how many seats we had. I know that number because I am very observant and I attend a lot of the Board of Education meetings, and I've been paying attention to the budget now for, 5-6 years at least, if not more than that, very closely. So I knew that it was 28 seats, and I knew that meant it was probably going to be about 7. And I told my daughter going in, it's probably not going to be that many, and I've heard a lot of kids have applied this year, so, try not to get your hopes up too much. But when she got the waitlist letter, she was crushed. I mean, crushed. So then when I called to say, yes, we wanted to accept her spot on the waitlist, because you needed to let them know if you wanted to be on the waitlist or not. That's when I wanted to find out where she stood on the wait list, so I can help her manage her own expectations about whether or not that was a reality possibility even. And that's when I found out that so many had scored perfectly. And she was one of them. So it was kind of a good and a bad thing. It was a wonderful thing to hear she did so well, but at the same time,
Okay.
hard to accept.
Summarize this up. It's just
Yeah.
an unexpected increase in the number of students that were accepted.
Yeah.
And that information came after
Yes,
the budget process.
We didn't get our letters of their acceptance until March 6th or 7th. They actually showed up in the mail.
Okay, that's the day
yeah.
before the
Yeah,
town council did their deliberation.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Megan.
you're welcome.
Mr. Chair, you may want to reach out to the Board of Ed because this was discussed at their meeting, and the superintendent said there were other priority issues that they cut from the budget as well, so you want to ask them to make a comment.
There's,
Just letting you know.
yeah, no, I understand the Board of Ed has done some things, and they have their own priorities on that. Just as background, so the people here and the people that are listening, if, in theory, the Board of Finances increases the budget to the Board of Ed, there's no guarantee what the Board of Ed will spend that money on.
Mm-hmm.
And we do not have the purview to say, you gotta do it for this topic that parents have brought up. So that's a thing we should be aware of, and those listening should be aware of also.
tried to put a post on social media, Walter, on the New Milford page. Someone responded, and the admin turned off comments and deleted my post.
Oh,
On
and this
the New
street-
Milford CT page, just for what it's worth, I tried to see if I could get people to comment, and they canned my post. So, and all I did is say the hearings tonight. Would anybody like to comment, in the hopes that someone would say something, just to.
Be trying on a different page? There's lots of others.
That's ridiculous.
I'm only back on Facebook a couple of months. Most of the New Milford pages won't allow me because I haven't been a member for 17,000 years or whatever they require, you know. So, no problem. I tried.
All right, why not? I'll kill some time. All right, down when I get done. Mike Sinello, 111 Willow Springs. So just so folks at home are aware, and just so it's on the record, there is one more meeting that is of any, I don't know, meaning here before we go to the referendum, and that is the Board of Finance's budget deliberations. I don't know if the chair has established a date yet that he'd like to make
April
public.
4th.
April 4th. We will be broadcasting, as we always do, the entire deliberations, both on the town's Facebook page and YouTube channels when that happens. For those that don't have the opportunity to watch these videos live, of course, the easiest way to find it is on YouTube. Just go to YouTube, search Town in Milford. That'll bring up the town's page, the town's YouTube channel, and we've built a playlist for this entire series. So the budget process that we've recorded here began with the mayor's presentation of the mayor's proposed budget. That continued on through the joint budget hearings of the Board of Finance and the Town Council. The Town Council then had their deliberations. We are now in the midst of the Board of Finance's public hearing, which is the public at home's last opportunity to offer their input before we get to a referendum. All of these videos will be on the town's YouTube channel, and it will be on the playlist. I believe it's entitled 2023 Budget Hearings, which does include the joint budget hearings. It includes the public hearings. It includes the deliberations. So if anybody in posterity wants to review all of that from the moment of the mayor's proposed until inclusive, the Board of Finance's deliberations will be on the town's YouTube channel. It's also on the town's Facebook page, but Facebook's a little bit harder, a little less intuitive to do this sort of searching on. I believe, and the chair can correct me if I'm wrong, after the Board of Finance's budget deliberations, the only thing that is left is a special meeting for the town council to establish a date for the referendum, and that's just merely setting a date, and then we have a referendum, and everybody in town can vote on what winds up being proposed.
Just to add, Michael, the meeting for the setting of the referendum has to be no later than the first Tuesday in May.
So, and I don't know if I have Walter's microphone.
They could do it
correctly.
before that, but,
So Chairman O'Connor just said that the meeting to set the date for the referendum, which would be a meeting of the town council, has to happen before May 1st.
first Tuesday in May.
First Tuesday in May, excuse me. So folks know too, that's an expected timeline roughly of how this whole thing is going to operate. And April 4th is the deliberations for the Board of Finance.
Yes.
7
Tuesday
p.m.
of next week.
7 p.m. here in the E. Paul Martin room.
Correct.
Folks are welcome to watch, but there won't be public comment because that's what this public hearing is for. So, last chance, folks. 5 minutes.
I managed to get it posted on New Milford Positive Vibes, it's in one.
See if it happens. I don't think I'm allowed in that group.
I'm surprised I am.
Mr. Chair, it's 7:29.
Okay. We'll give it one more minute, and if we don't have any people coming in, then I'll ask for a motion to adjourn in the next minute. Mr. Bear,
Motion to adjourn, Mr. Chair.
second? All in favor?
Aye.
See everybody on Tuesday.
Tuesday it is.
Almighty.